Hey everybody out there in YouTube. So this evening I'm here in the van, and we have Chris Travels is on, and the Cruzin Castles are also on here. And so Chris and I are going to get started. Just as soon as we introduce the Cruzin Castles, I'll have them tell you a little bit real quick about their story. Then Chris and I are going to catch you up on what's happening with us before we go in and begin our interview with both the Cruzin Castles here. So you want to go ahead and start off there, Chris?
Yeah, guys, just been here in Florida, ready to get back on the road. This will be the last live video, I think, here in the Florida condo, actually, because next week, as James and I have decided, we're actually going to switch it up next week. Obviously, the Super Bowl, and also if the cruise works out, I'll be on the cruise. So we're going to skip next week and do the Sunday after. Just been working on some older videos. I'm probably gonna be posting a video tomorrow from Seward, where G and I were actually ice climbing, and then also a video based on Alaska stuff that we've been doing. I'm gonna get that uploaded, and just kind of working and responding to all the comments, doing all that stuff. So staying busy here in Florida, getting some stuff done. Just met up with Mike actually from Living Free. Really cool dude. Had a great time with him. Another video I'll be uploading is me, Mike, my grandma, and G playing beer pong, and I'll have that up as well soon. So
that's funny because Mike told me you were pretty good, man. You were giving him a number.
Yeah, man. Like he beat me at pool when I met him down in Panama City. He came up here to Destin and kind of beat him in beer pong.
Hey, so the Cruzin Castles over here, let's go ahead and have you guys introduce yourselves and say hi real quick before I go ahead and give my little update.
What's up? I'm Martin.
Hey, I'm Brandy.
I'm the Cruzin Castles, and we're just preparing to get on the road, excited, and doing our research, learning how to do these videos. It's a long process, but it's a fun one.
All right, right on. So, hey, everybody, we'll have them on here real shortly. I thought I would go ahead and let you know what's going on over here. Tonight is actually the last night that we will technically have the apartment, and I've been moving all day. That's why I'm looking a little rough right now. And when I'm done here, I'm going to be finishing the move over to a rental complex that I'll be managing. And from there, I'll be able to work on building an online income, and then also I'll be able to have an income, and Carolina and I won't have any kind of rent or anything. In addition, I've been working on building out a website that I'll probably be launching in the next 2 weeks for you guys. It's going to be a little bit of a different take than what Chris has going on, but I hope, or at least I hope you guys all like it. And I'm going to try to build in the Google Moderator right into the website, so you guys just have one place that you need to go. So let's go ahead and get back over to the Cruzin Castles. I actually met them over there in Houston here for drinks one evening, and they are in the middle of a plan on making they have the house, everything, so the full shebang. And so I'll let them tell us a little bit right now on what their major plan on it is right now, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead there.
Well, the plan right now is the timeline's about 2 years, hopefully sooner. I mean, we'd like to go jump in a van and leave right now if we could, but unfortunately that's not the case. Got a little work to do around the house, and in the planning aspect, the budget is the main thing in the beginning, trying to get bills squared away and then pack away every dime you can, because we'd like to get on the road and get the RV without a payment.
Yeah, okay. We're basically, you know, in the planning and preparation stage, and we're doing things as far as downsizing. So, you know, just last night we went through our kitchen and got rid of like so much stuff. It was was a pretty awesome feeling. And our plan is to slowly get rid of all the furniture and close in the space in the house so that we're living in a smaller area and get used to that while we're continuing to do our research and saving.
So whereabouts are you guys in that point now? Are you in the real early on getting rid of the things, or are you already working on selling them and whatnot?
I mean,
well, we have some things like some of the bigger items posted on Craigslist and some Facebook like big barter trade sites, and we're also have a big pile of stuff ready to do some garage sales as soon as it gets a little bit warmer. In fact, we were going to do one next weekend, but you know, it's beautiful today, 65 and sunny, and next weekend it's going to be raining and 57. So as soon as we can, we're going to try to get some stuff sold off, build up the savings, and get rid of everything.
Yeah, so I guess it's a good thing next weekend Super Bowl Sunday for you guys, huh?
yeah.
So you landed on the rainy day.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't even remember that it was Super Bowl until Chris said that. Oh yeah, that's right, Super Bowl.
So, like, have you guys been getting any calls on the furniture and whatnot?
Yeah, we had a massage table that's been getting a lot of people calling about, and we're kind of in the process of doing the furniture because we'd like to get the couches and everything out of the living room so that we can finish painting the trim and then the walls and then put the floor in. We've already pulled the floor up, so there's some house renovations that we still need to do in order to either rent or sell. And that's kind of still pending because of my job, which I do. I'm going to be doing travel nursing, and so I'm doing a lot of research as far as that's concerned as well because of the taxes. And so we're kind of in that process right now of just redoing the house and trying to decide if we're going to sell or rent.
Yeah, if we don't have a permanent residence, then they tax the living crap out of you. So
yeah, they tax all the stipends and the paycheck and everything like that. So
are you thinking of keeping that house and then getting the income from the house's rent and also using that for tax purposes?
yes.
So
Yeah.
would you, like with the rent agreement, like so you'd have to possibly get something figured out in terms of maybe a renter that is kind of a little self-sufficient, so you can be out on the road, part of the rent agreement that they take care of the place and keep it up?
We're going two ways. If we decide to go with a friend, then it'll be somebody that we know that's stable, has a stable career and everything. And if we choose not to, then we'd probably go with an agency.
They have renter agencies that basically, like, they serve as the landlord, and of course you paid them some. So we would probably, rent the house out to pay the mortgage and to pay the agency, and it'd still be my tax home, but we not having to use any of our expenses to pay for the house or the agency.
So when it comes to your travel nursing job, you'd have to be on site places. Would they be okay with an RV, or are you going to park the RV somewhere and get a towing car to go back and forth to work?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah,
well, our long-term plan is to basically sell both our vehicles to get a towed or a tow vehicle that I would take to and from work. As far as parking the RV on site, I don't think that's really how it works. They usually give you a housing stipend, and instead of taking that to pay for an apartment or something, they would just give it to me like a per diem. And so I would just take that and pay for like a spot,
an RV
park or something like that, to pay for the spot for, and they're usually 13-week assignments.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty new to even just the research and doing on the travel nursing. I've got quite a bit down. I think even moving into the RV and doing that full time, I'm really super excited about that, and I'm not nearly as nervous about that as I am, having to find agencies, and then you have to kind of negotiate your own contracts, and you have like several agencies at one time, and you go to many different hospitals, and so that's kind of nerve-wracking, but I'm willing to do it, and I want to do it, and I think that that's going to be the best option for us to be able to get out on the road.
Absolutely.
So basically, what kind of vehicle are you guys thinking to use as a tow vehicle, or have you gotten that far in the planning?
We're thinking a Jeep, an older model Jeep. That way we can go off-roading. Because we're probably going to do the same thing as Chris, use that, because we're going for a Class A as well, do a real small Class A, and then use that like a home base and then just shoot out from there.
Okay. So and then I know Brandy here was saying that she in her plans is to still be doing nursing. Like, do you have any concept of how long your plans are going to be to stay in each location? And then also, what are your plans as far as savings and getting ready for it? Are you planning on to hopefully be able to land those different positions, or are you guys going to have a plan on having a good-sized nest egg?
We're going to have a good-sized nest egg, and then the assignments are only 13 weeks, and so that's roughly 3 months. Therefore, depending on how much she's getting paid on each assignment and where we choose to go, whether it's BLM or we're wanting to go to festivals or cities, what we do determines how long we go before we take another assignment.
And also there's the option to renegotiate another assignment within that same hospital. So to sign another contract and do another 13 weeks, you know, if I really like it there, or if there's just we're not quite done with seeing the sites or something like that. But also another pro to doing the travel nursing is that I could do several 13-week assignments and take 13 weeks off and do a longer stint so that we could do something where I don't have to go to work.
Or 2 assignments in a row and then 6 months off.
Which I'm a little leery about because I'm used to working, so 6 months off seems crazy, but once I get on the road, I may be just craving 6 months off. We'll see. I don't know.
I tell you what, that's what G and I do. We work really, really hard for 6 months and then take 6 months off. And I haven't been posting as scheduled as I did, say, on the way up or even in Alaska, but just having that hard work time, work really hard, nose to the grindstone, get all your debt paid off if you don't have any, but like just getting everything paid up and have that backup cash and just being able to do what we do here. Like, we had an opportunity to help my grandma drive down to Florida and hang out here in a condo, and we just have 6 free months. We're free to do whatever we want, you know, as long as it doesn't exceed what we have saved up from the summer. And if you're doing traveling nursing, a good friend of mine, her sister's a traveling nurse. I know traveling nurses do very well. So you could do that hard work for 6 months and then just go anywhere, any place, anytime you want to. You know,
right.
that'd be pretty awesome.
You're going on the cruise. I was looking the other day, and they've got nursing assignments on cruise ships as well, so we could also do that.
Absolutely. You absolutely could do that. It's like a floating little city, those cruise ships. Like, I've never been on one, but I've obviously talked to a lot of people on the cruises up in Alaska, and it literally has everything, like anything you could ever want. But granted, from what I hear, they do have those jobs, but I hear those cruise jobs, it might be good for maybe a month or so, and then you kind of get tired of it and you don't want to do it, you know.
You're like, I'm so tired of taking care of people that are seasick.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all.
But yeah, no, I think that 6 months, I mean, again, this is just how G and I have worked it in the way that works best for us. Everybody's unique situation, of course, but I really think that that would be awesome. That'd be amazing if you could get that pulled off, because it's just having that freedom to go where you want, when you want. And if you're making a good enough income as a traveling nurse, like, you also have the option of storing the RV and just bopping over to Thailand for a month, and you know.
Sure, yeah, we've talked about doing stuff like that too.
I mean,
which is really exciting, but far out of like a realm of like kind of what I originally had started thinking about. So
it's crazier when the closer you get.
What's that?
No, go ahead.
It's crazier the closer you get, and the more steps you take towards reaching this goal, you start to see the possibilities.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I was getting ready to say. Like, with traveling, It's not like you start out with one little branch of what you're trying to do, and then from there it just expands because you realize what options are out there and the freedom that you can have, and you start meeting people like when we were in Thailand. Since we're talking about Thailand, we'll use this, but G and I would just be sitting down at a bar somewhere or on a tour bus and getting a conversation with somebody. It's living this very unique lifestyle, and then we see what they're doing and we kind of tie it to what we're doing with the RV. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just so many opportunities and possibilities out there, and once you free yourself to actually participate in those particular areas, it's just so easy just to kind of migrate through. Because with Thailand, we found round trip tickets for $850, but once we were over there, we were staying on beach bungalows. We had a beach bungalow, moped rental, the food we bought for the day, and like a full body massage, and we spent $25 that day, and that's split between two people. So we technically spent like
$12.50,
like $12.50 a piece, $13, somewhere around there, So when you really start to see the opportunities, that living, I mean, I wouldn't be able to have done that. I never would have been in that realm if it wasn't for me first buying that first camper van, then working my way up. Because I started out with like a van like James in right now. I saw his track lights, and the first thing I thought of when I saw that was my very first Ford van I bought and drove around with my Husky. Like it's been a progression, and it's made my life a very awesome life to live.
Super rich.
Hey Chris, real quick, how long were you in that? How long was that first trip in that van?
A month and 3 days.
Okay, so I mean, I just think it's kind of interesting that you started off that way, and so did I. But for you guys, are you guys thinking about doing something where you're going to be having like a travel trailer? Because I know when we were talking, you were talking travel trailer Class A, right?
Well, right now we have a 1968 Nomad, which is only like 13 feet long, that we use to go out camping in and stuff. And we do Renaissance festivals, so right now it's at Sherwood. It'll be there for 2 months, and we'll go there on the weekends and come back here. But we'll be selling all the cars, selling all the stuff, and then getting a Class A.
Do you have dates planned on that? So do you have like a date that you plan on starting to try to sell the house, or have made a decision to rent it, and then dates that you want to have your belongings sold, or do you have anything like that you guys have set?
We've already started, so it's as fast as possible. It's more along the line. The time frame is more of the savings for the RV and maybe solar for it. So the whole thing is, when we roll out, I don't mind if the RV is sitting in the driveway and we're staying in the RV and working on the house. It's saving that money, getting the RV without a payment, and then preferably having solar on it before we leave. Whether it's we rent the house out and just move down the street to an RV park and just get all our ducks in a row, like we're selling everything, and at the same time doing the research on these videos, research on the toads, getting all that research done, getting our resources in line as far as apps and websites, getting links and bookmarks on the computer, so when we don't have that Wi-Fi capability or we're lacking it, I don't have to do all the searching then. It's already there. It's already done.
Well, but when we sat down to do the budget, we did a full year's budget to see what feasibly we could save for an entire year, and it would be awesome that because we did it on the low end, so we could save more than what we think we can save, I guess you would say, and we're hoping to be able to buy an RV at the beginning of next year, so January 2016 would be optimal, but we want to be on the road by January 2017.
And we did it long like that just so we don't set ourselves up for failure. So that would be an extreme time, and we hope it's earlier than that.
But it's like, sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, there are two of us, and also, so there's two different job aspects. Martin has a really stable job right now, so that's kind of been not an issue, but something that we had to take into consideration as you know, what we were going to do for when we get on the road for him. And also, you know, you have a home and 2 cars and you know, other family obligations and things that we're trying to slowly get down to a little pile to deal with, because it feels right now there's so much, but I find that the more and more I'm able to get rid of, and the more and more we put it out there to our friends and family, you know, our plans.
Which is part of preparing your friends and your family for what you're doing too.
That it's you know, letting them know that we're going to be hitting the road and we're not going to, you know, have the house anymore. So I think that it's taken a little bit of time, but it's getting there.
What job do you have, Martin?
I build gas chromatographs that analyze gas from pipelines.
So are you guys having any difficulty in the process of getting rid of stuff, or has that been a pretty simple and you've been so excited to throw it away?
No, it's exciting to throw it away. We've kind of broke it down. We started where you start with what's sentimental that you know you're not going to get rid of, and maybe you need to find a place to store it.
That's not really
Is that,
job
you hear that?
where you can just pick up and start up. So,
Is Chris talking?
It sounds like his voice, but I can't tell. I think his feed froze. So I'm sure he'll be fine here in a second. We'll let him get back on. But so
yeah,
now
we broke it down into sentimental things, and so it's either, is it going in the RV with us? Do we need to find a family member to hold on to it? And then what are we going to give to family and friends if they want it? And then sell and then donate.
It's not nearly been as hard as I thought it would be.
Yeah, usually the tend to have a harder time with it, and I know Carolina is really struggling with it. We're actually in the process of putting stuff in storage, and she's been really struggling with it, and like I can't get her to. Everything apparently has sentimental value. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Yeah, like she said, we're going to be having a video coming up. We did it yesterday. We went through the kitchen and we pretty much just went cabinet by cabinet, pulled everything out onto the counter, and then what do we need for the next year, and what do we not need, and then whatever we didn't need went in boxes in the middle of the kitchen, and what we still were going to keep went back in the cabinet. And so we'll have that video coming up. But once we had the pile in the end, it was hilarious. Like, why do you need all this crap?
There was so much stuff, and we use the same pots, the same pans, you know, so it was really cool to get rid of all that stuff. I was excited.
Yeah, I could see that, especially when they're less likely to pile up in the sink, right?
Oh, that is exactly what I said. I'm so excited about not doing that many dishes.
Yeah, if you want to eat something else, you're gonna have to wash that plate. Because we figure in the RV that's how it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, those sinks aren't deep enough to let things pile up on you. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
So now with the stuff that you guys have been like kind of packing away, and you said that you're thinking about maybe having a family member or storing it. What like options have you been running through in your head on the direction you're going with that?
Her father has an extra apartment behind his house that he doesn't use, and so we've talked to him about putting the couple boxes. Like you said, she has more sentimental things than I do, and storing, I mean, it would only be sentimental things. It's not nothing of value. We wouldn't be keeping it because of value. It's the only reason we're keeping it if it's not coming with us is because of sentimental.
Okay. So then, do you guys feel like you're going to have a lot of those items, or do you think it's going to be not too much to bother people?
No, I don't think it's going to be very much. I mean, most of the sentimental stuff that I have, we could fit into several boxes. It's really going to be like mostly artwork and pictures and things. And there's a couple of like wood furniture items that I've already kind of like starting to break ties with because I know, I mean, there's no point really. I mean, it's my own sentimental, just because I really like it. You know, it's not necessarily, wasn't passed down from family or anything like that. So I don't think there's going to be much, and I don't think I already actually spoke with my dad at Christmas, and I already prepped him for what was going to be going on and what we're doing, and he was more than willing to keep the stuff back there, and he's really excited for us, so he's totally on board with it.
Cool, very cool. Hey, Chris, are you there now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
AT&T, good old AT&T. Goodness gracious.
Did you have any specific questions? Because I was thinking maybe we could start opening it up to the audience. Make sure that they know that if you're watching this on YouTube, right there in the description is a link over to Google Moderator, and that's a spot that you can ask questions. And Chris, did you have any specific?
No, I think I kind of got cut off when I was trying to ask, but you mentioned that you're working with the oil and gas industry. Are you able to do anything mobile with that, like remotely? Because it sounds like something you'd have to be on site for.
Yeah, I'd probably leave that all together.
What are you thinking in terms of what you want to do?
Anything and everything. I don't really know jobs beneath me.
Do you have any preferences? Do you have anything along the lines that you're kind of leaning towards, or are you just going to hit the road and see what comes your way?
I've been a carpenter for 15, 20 years, and when the housing market fell out, I went into gas. And then I've been a manager in frozen and dairy departments and grocery stores. And so pretty much just wherever we happen to be on location, it'll be for a 3-month stint, and I'll just get in where I fit in.
Nice. It's a great attitude to have. I'm sure it'll work out for you. But James, if you want to go over some of the questions, I'm keeping an eye here on the actual chat. If I see some pop up, is there anything on Moderator?
Yeah, there's a couple of things here. So first of all here, what I'm seeing is a question that's kind of targeted maybe at all of us, but I'm gonna change it just a little bit, and I'm first gonna ask the Castles here. What are you guys planning on saving for your safety net to help offset any circumstances like breakdown or repairs?
I know as far as a safety net on the house, we plan to have 6 months mortgage saved up in case when we're renting it, somebody can't pay it and we're on location and we can't get back here or whatever. So we'll be able to pay for the house for 6 months if anything was to arise, just for that fund. And then as far as what we'll have, I mean, I don't plan on spending anything but on food and saving up for the next motorhome in case something happens. So
Yeah, I mean,
everything's going to be saving.
We're definitely going to have a fund for repairs. We just really don't know yet because it really depends on what we get and how much we spend on that and how long we're going to have to be stationary to save to be able to move. I mean,
I'd say at a minimum probably $10,000.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
So
that
are
would
you guys
be
gonna
preferable.
Are you guys gonna have health insurance at all during this time, saving up, and also while you're on the road? Are you gonna get any specialized health insurance?
We haven't really looked too far into that.
I don't know about specialized health insurance. We have health insurance now, but a lot of the agencies they offer health insurance. It might not be the best deal you could get, so of course we're going to have to look into that as well. But we're definitely going to have health insurance. That to me is pretty important, just especially if we're going to be on the road, and I want to be able to.
Especially after.
Yeah, I mean, I had a really bad accident where I fell off a ladder, and really long story, but I have 11 screws and a plate in my leg, and it's just a little over a year now. So, and I've been having some issues with the screws. And so that's kind of always on my mind in case something happens where I need to be able to go in and get it looked at. Also, I wear glasses, so I feel like I need to have eye insurance and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, we're definitely going to keep insurance. I don't know how that's going to play out yet, if it's going to be independent or through an agency as far as a travel agency for the nursing. I have to still look into that and see.
Okay. Chris, you want to also, what do you think should be held back in savings as far as for hitting the road just in case things happen?
Man, I'm the wrong person to be asking about that, man. I do things a lot different than most people, man. Like, I've never really seen, I guess the best way to put this is I've never held high respect for money in terms of like stopping me to do something. Like, I've always been able to just work hard and always make enough money whenever I get to a place. So basically for our safety net is I have maybe a few $100s starting out for the way to Alaska, and then use the card, and once I get there, then pay it off. Like, it's not the smartest thing, it's not the best thing, but for me personally, and this is why I think that I've been able to do all this at such a young age, is that I've just been able to say, screw it, I'll pay for it later. Right now I'm going to do this trip, I'm going to have fun, and just see how it goes, because it's worked out really well for me before, and knock on wood.
Knock on some wood.
Yeah, but I mean, it's you're doing it the smart way. Like, Castles here are obviously doing it the smart way. I'm not doing it the smart way, but I've shown throughout the last couple of years that it is possible. It might not be the smartest, it might not be the safest, but again, what they're doing smart. The way that I travel is more travel and experience first, worry about money later.
Well, the question was what we would like to have saved, and that's what I would like to have saved. Is that what we will have? I don't know.
I guess what I was getting at is I don't know what to save because I don't do it. Like, I just work hard, save up some cash, pay off what I have, what I need to pay off, and then once I have that all paid off, I have a little bit of money, then I go on the next trip.
For me on it, I actually ended up having some problems that hit me at the end, and that I know I would have rather have had some money saved. I don't actually actively have a sizable credit card line, credit line that I use. So I personally, I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I think if you try to prepare too long and you're worried about a certain amount of money saved up and you're not going to do anything until you have that, if it's a large amount, you can end up never really doing it. And
Sure.
I personally think that you want to have enough to handle cash on hand to be able to handle if you have like a breakdown as far and need to replace an engine or something. Let's use that as an example. That should just about cover anything that's like an oops, and then obviously plan accordingly. But if I did have a substantial credit line established, I actually might take Chris's side a little more. I just personally, I would rather go and find myself a place to stay for a while and pay it off than have chose not to get out on the road. And I think that's kind of what you're saying, right, Chris?
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, again, my traveling has led me there, but working a summer in Alaska is one of the best gigs on this entire face of the earth. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous up there, gorgeous everywhere you go. The wildlife's amazing, the fishing's amazing, and there is a great opportunity to make money up there. There's a lot of YouTubers, actually, I've seen recently. They're all heading up there. Everybody's heading up to Alaska, it seems, because it is that amazing up there. And again, like, just the way that I've been traveling, like, I have a really good credit score, and we can go around and around on credit score. I don't ever get in that conversation because my situation is just what it is. Like, some people say renting's bad, some people say financing's bad, whatever. Like, my situation's my situation. But from that, I've got a really good credit score, so I am able to have that high credit line and be able to use that to travel. And then once I get back to, say, Alaska this year, all goes to plan, be working hard again, making that money.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of would prefer that route myself, just simply because then you're actually really doing. And I think if you're over prepared, you risk the chance of never doing. So I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next question here. That's from Bravo20, and it's, what type of RV are Cruzin Castles moving into? I know they said they didn't have one, but maybe guys, what's your preferred one, and what's your realistic price point you're looking at?
We're looking at Winnebagos for the build, and the 8.1 Chevy workhorse chassis, probably 2004 to 2008 range, and then Sightseer, Adventurer probably, and hopefully about 25,000.
25,000. And so you guys think that that's going to be a realistic number, really safe for you to be able to save by your time to leave out in that January?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Awesome. I personally like the Class A's, but if I had a choice between C and A, I would definitely go A. So
we want a small A, the smallest A we can get with a walk around.
Well, I don't know. The walk around bed's a huge deal for me. I don't know.
For me, I could do a van.
There's always that middle room, isn't there?
The whole thing is if she gets on if we get on an assignment and it happens to be a night shift, then it'll be better if she's in a room. That way.
Yeah, so I can actually get sleep.
She can sleep during the day, and I'm not bothering her.
Yeah, I hear that. So, I have a question from Jay Wilder. Are you planning on putting a fireplace in your RV?
I've burnt down a camper. I'll stay away from that.
No. We don't plan on it.
No fireplace for you guys?
Nuh-uh. Just more stuff to have to deal with.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel about it too.
So, to the Cruzin Castles from RV Haunter, have you guys checked into any of the membership for RV parks or Thousand Trails or anything like that?
We've looked at them, and we'll just have to see if that's worth it. I don't want to stay in RV parks. I mean, that's not. I could stay here if I wanted to camp somewhere. The only reason we're going to be in an RV park is because we're on assignment. Other than that, no.
I don't know. I mean, we looked into it. I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing for us to do. But as we still have a lot of research to do and to find out if that really is best or not. But at this point in time, no, I don't think we're going to.
Okay, so we have another question here from Zentre, so what kind of places are you guys planning on getting out and heading to first?
Well, I'd like to do the Northwest. I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Virginia, and I've been all up and down the East Coast, lived in Georgia. We're both from Texas, so East Coast is a lot of people and real congested, and I haven't ever seen the mountains out west, so I'd like to go Northwest.
And I haven't really been many places, so I'm down for whatever.
And plus, most of the free BLM land is out west.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what you can get away with doing in the city too, huh, Chris?
Yeah, we've done some pretty cocky things. We'll see how that pulls off with the Class A. But I just talked to Mike not too long ago down here in Florida. He found a pretty amazing free site that's no time limit, so he could be there. Who knows how long our kid's going to stay there? You know,
that's awesome.
He sent me some pictures, and it looks absolutely amazing out there. So you can find them. It's just depends on your timeline and how much time you have free.
Yeah, he sent those to me too. I thought it was an awesome spot. I was pretty jealous. He said he headed out and he was going around in a boat too.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's that stuff you find. You find it out there, man. It's everywhere. There's good people out there, and you know you can meet them, have a great time, and just you can do it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to watching you go across the country in the Class A, so we'll learn a lot.
I'm looking forward to seeing myself get in the Class A. Goodness gracious, I feel like this has been in works for so freaking long now. Like that's one of the bad parts about you know, kind of working half the year as well, because you work all this time and you don't see anything come out of it. Now I'm just like waiting. I'm like waiting in Florida, and every day I'm just thinking about the first day moving into that Class A, man. I am so excited.
Right on. So, guys, here's the next question. Here's from RB Lady. What happens when and if you have a family? You know, if you decide you want to have kids, are you going to quit the road, or would you just move into RV parks, or what?
Same thing.
Yeah, no,
Wouldn't
we've
change.
talked
We
about
just raise a
that.
child.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and yeah, we do. We plan on having a family, and we probably are going to do it on the road. We
Chris,
might just.
I'm kind of curious. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Oh,
I was just saying, I'm kind of curious as your take on that, Chris.
Well, having a family on the road?
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. I think it's a great idea. Actually, raising a kid with a traveling mentality and seeing the different people out there and the different landscapes and what's out in the world, I think it'll be a very enlightened, intelligent kid that has that childhood.
If I was doing what society wanted me, I wouldn't be researching what I'm doing right now.
So then I do have a question here on the having kids. Would you guys then stop for a little while you would be pregnant, Brandy, or would you guys keep on the road during that time?
Well, probably like the way that I've thought about it is during the pregnancy, I would probably stay on assignment. I mean, I would want to work probably still the whole time, but so that I could have an OB that was concurrent through the whole pregnancy. So in that way, yeah, we would probably stay in one place for a little while for the pregnancy and the birth and a couple of months, and then see from there. So I guess potentially maybe a year, but
Okay.
still not here.
So Ginger here is asking if you guys, Ginger James is asking, do you guys think the RVs or van dwelling is more practical? I think that's probably more directed at Chris and I.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would love a Class B. I don't really think just two people you would need more room. But if you're going to have a family, I think a Class B would be too small. And, what do you think, Chris?
Oh, I think a Class B is too small, man. I've done it. I've definitely done it. It's definitely one of those things where you don't really know it until you do it. Because when I had Zepp, I figured it'd be big enough for two people to travel out of. Yes. To live out of, no. Granted, this is my Class B. It's a 1990. It's Zepp. It might not be up to standards of newer vans, but definitely I think a C or an A, because I mean that's the thing that's kind of interesting with YouTube right now that's happening, is like a lot of people that might not have had the experience or the opportunity to be in RVs, they might have a notion that one person should live one way, but they never actually spent any significant amount of time in an RV and actually doing the traveling. And definitely I think a B is a little too small for two people. One person, I think it's definitely doable. Two people, when you're actually getting ready for work, if you're actually trying to get clothes brought to the laundromat, if somebody needs to go to the grocery store, it's a small little space. It's a very small little space.
Yeah.
If you plan on moving a lot and you're retired, like you said, not working, then Class B may be okay for a retired couple moving fast. But other than that, yeah, I'd go C at the minimum.
So, Chris, I haven't heard from the gentleman from the UK, but we have another we have another gentleman that's done both sailboat living and RV living. You want to have him on?
It's up to you, man. I'm up for whatever.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and invite him on. Um, okay, so I have a comment or a question kind of from NB Nomad here. First of all, I'll go ahead and from the standpoint for the Cruzin Castles, like what do you guys plan on using as far as software and video cameras?
Right now, we got a Nikon D3200 and a GoPro 3 Plus Silver, and I'm still researching. I mean, that's one of the things as far as getting rid of everything. Part of that is researching cameras, music, free music, download sites, software. I'm running through all the different video editing, trying to figure out which one I like, and it's kind of aggravating. You go through a free one and then it doesn't do something you'd like to do or something you've seen somebody else be able to do, and so you're off to the next one. And so learning all the different free ones, I almost really want to pay for one, actually, just so I can learn one.
And then on the other question to Chris, part of the question, how do you keep putting together videos in the winter when it's too cold outside?
In terms of like in ZEP?
Yeah, basically, how do you keep making your videos and keeping videos up during the winter times when it's cold?
Oh, up in Alaska? Yeah, I'm down to Florida. No, like in Alaska, man, everybody thinks it's so cold up there, but I'm on the coast in Seward, so we actually stay pretty temperate, and it's not too bad. And we actually got a small little place that had, you know, the internet and like a small little oil heater, you know, and it was actually pretty nice, small little house. Like, we'd get home from working out or whatever and turn the heater on, and about 10 minutes later the house would be completely fine. So, I mean, I like I said earlier, I still have videos from this last summer from Alaska that I'm just now posting out. Like, I spent about 4.5 hours a day editing videos and just finished one of those videos, you know. So there's so much to do in Alaska, so much up there. It's crazy. So that's why I still have time to do it now.
So Ilani Trekker here is asking, what are the things that you guys have been researching, and are there any apps that you guys are planning on making use of on your trip?
Yeah, I have a whole folder. I mean, there's the boondocking, and most people, I mean, the normal ones, the sandy dumps, the free water, the free dump sites. There's free state parks. Like, I did a tour of one today. I did a video of one today that I think I sent Chris a link to, that you can stay there 7 days for nothing.
Wait,
and
you sent me a link?
Yeah, I think I sent a message to you.
Facebook or
I'll
Google?
resend it. Yeah, maybe Facebook.
I'll double check out when we get off here tonight. I'll let you know.
Yeah, in Houston, it's 7 days. I mean, you got to send out a little application ahead of time, but you can stay there 7 days. You got to be gone 30 days, and then you can come back for another 7 days. And they have full hookups, tent camping on one side, RV on the other. I mean,
that's awesome.
Nice.
That is rad. So what other things have you guys been working on research on?
Jobs, traveling jobs. Like, I mean, she's pretty much got one. But like the harvesting, the beet harvest, house sitting. We were looking at some house sitting ones, and that was pretty cool. Not necessarily, I guess it's not a job. They may pay for you, but Renfest, we do Renaissance festivals, so that's an option. There's one in every state. It's usually 4 weekends to 8 weekends long, and so you just work the weekend and then you're off all week.
Yeah, so we did a lot of research on what kind of RV we wanted and how other people are sustaining their RV living, and what kind of work we would do and where we would stay. So like Martin said, we have all these folders. We have all these folders on the computer of just different things, you know, kind of just stockpiling information.
Yeah, any site that I find that's good, I bookmark it and put it away for later.
Okay. I have a question here for Chris from IRC Bully. What does it end up? Have you filled up the new RV, and what does it cost to fill that up with gas?
I haven't filled it up. I've actually only test driven it. It has a 75-gallon tank, so $2 a gallon. You can do the math real quick. I wish it was honestly a little bit bigger, just because I don't want to drive through Canada with $4 a gallon when I can get it in the U.S. for about $2. But you know, it's part of it.
So here's another one from Rocky Mountain Prepper. What are your thoughts on diesel versus gas with the Class A's?
What do you think about that, Castles?
I like the aspect of diesel for the power and the longevity of the motor. But when I do my research, most of the people with gas doesn't. They say they can do it, and I know the mechanics fee for diesels are high, and I know I can pretty much get any part for an 8.1 Chevy motor than anywhere I'm at.
Yeah, I've kind of heard the same thing. Like, long run, if you have the initial money to invest in the in that diesel, it's a great option, man. But that initial cost, if you start to kind of counterbalance everything, you know, with the maintenance of the diesel and also initial investment, like, how much are you really going to save? You know, unless you have one of those big 45-foot diesel pushers that need something that big.
Right.
You know, like, I think us two, we're in a unique situation where we're looking for some of the smaller Class A's, where that Ford V10 or that Workhorse chassis V10 is going to be a great fit for what we're trying to do. So.
And I read somewhere
that
anything over 36 feet or anything under 36 feet diesels to stay away from.
Really? Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just something that they could kind of increase the price, because I know some of these there's a version of my motorhome that's a diesel pusher, and it's about a $60,000 to $65,000 difference. It's the exact same thing pretty much. It just has a diesel in it, and they bumped that price up, you know.
And I don't know how true it is, but I saw a photo the other day where they were saying it's kind of like that Super Class C you were in, and he was saying how to cool that engine, and that engine up front stays cool, where that diesel in the back has the fans. And I saw a picture of one that got too hot and it caught on fire back there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, so for the video I did, the interview, I actually did a Google search of RVs on fire, so I could insert it into the video.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's the one I'm thinking
I
of.
think that's the one.
But like the search result with that, like, all the search results that came up, pretty much all of them were the rear engine diesel pushers. You know, like, it wasn't like, you know, like one of the older ones that say maybe a stove caught on fire. Kind of looked like all of them, not all, but most of them were the actual diesel pushers that had caught on fire. And, you know, because I feel like something in a cabin, you have your fire extinguisher right there, you have other means of putting stuff out. You can see it instantly, it's there. Where with that rear engine diesel, you know, you're driving down the road, you smell something, you ignore it for 1 minute, and the next thing you know, you have an uncontrollable fire in a spot that you might not be able to put out. But again, you know, somebody that has a diesel pusher, they could completely school us on, you know, what their take on it. So who knows? But that's just kind of what I thought about it.
I know I'm a big fan of diesel for sure, but you guys are scaring me away from it now.
I mean, the thing is, we can say this right now, and somebody in the comments or somebody that owns a diesel pusher, they can explain everything we said in a different light. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have any experience with them.
I think they're both good. As long as they stay running and stay healthy, they both get my thumbs up.
The diesel pushers will definitely last longer. I know that much.
If you take care of them.
Tell you what, I'll just get that Super C that I saw at the RV show, and we'll call it even. How's that sound? I'll go ahead and take the plunge for diesel. Just give me $550,000.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
See, that's too big for me.
Me too.
I think it's massive.
That actually,
hit the lottery.
I thought that thing was mean, man. That looked better than a Class A diesel pusher to me.
For sure.
What did you like best about it?
For me, for
Yeah.
me, I think the just having that trucking technology. You know, those trucks are made to stay on the road for a lot of miles, and I think the safety is a big thing for me as well. You know, when it comes down to it, like I really think that was a really safe thing to be in versus, you know, like I have a Class A now, but compared to a Class A, it's like night and day difference. It's just you have to have that money to afford it, I guess. Like that's a big obstacle, and I think for everybody watching this video, like we have a lot of ideas what we want to do, but it's always that money. You have to think about it, and I don't know. I'd say that those two things, even though it would be harder to get in and out of places, like I think that would be kind of rough, especially if you're like making a trip like I'm doing up to Alaska, even though mine's 31 foot now, 31 foot and some change. It'd be incredibly hard to get that through, you know, different towns. Like I feel like you'd be kind of restricted to the roads you can go on. It'd be kind of difficult, like the actual day-to-day. But if you're rich enough to afford it, I'm pretty sure you're not worried about that. You probably have a nice little car in the back.
Yeah, for sure, right? So I have another question here for the Castles, and the question is, what was the moment where you guys decided to hit the road, and um, how long did you guys sit there to discuss it?
That was you in the chair. So
Yeah, so like I had stated previously, I had a really bad accident, and I was in a chair with my foot propped up for like 22 hours out of the day, and I had already been kind of really restless in this sort of lifestyle that we're in now. I was just really wanting to get out there and do things and experience different things and people and cultures, and so whenever that happened, we had to get rid of the cable, and so we ended up getting a Chromecast, and we were doing a lot of streaming.
tell
and
them what happened.
we found, I'm getting to that, honey, thank you. So we came across, Chris Travels, and we started watching a lot of his videos, and I just thought, I mean, it was something I never even really thought about, that we could actually do that. And so right there in the chair, I decided we're going to change our life, and from that moment we've been moving towards that. And first I had to do PT and learn how to walk again and get back to working, and ever since then that's been our goal. We've been doing research, we watch videos basically every day, and have just been, like I said, stockpiling lots of info, and that was the moment basically. I was searching for something, I just didn't know what it was.
Just continuously making those little steps forward, huh?
That's right, yeah.
No, it's definitely like Dan we had on last week. You're right there with Dan. Like you're in the hard part. Like you're right at the precipice, starting to make moves, but it's just keeping going. It's going to be the hardest part. But I mean, I think that's what's really cool about the YouTube videos these days anymore is you always have constant motivation. Like some of us,
Yes.
like James and I, we do have to stop and work and do different things and not do it full. Well, I'll be doing it full time now, but I mean, it's just trying to get things going. But it's cool having that motivation out there, just being able to go on at any time and see what different people are doing to continue to get that motivation.
Right, yeah, definitely. I have to say that the YouTube has been really instrumental in us not only making the decision, but continuing to make the strides. And also something else is that we really have appreciated not only watching the videos, but getting to meet James and just having the inspiration, you know.
The community coming together is really cool because like the apps and all the web or the different pages, the YouTube community is just as big a resources as those are.
So when you're talking about the community being just as much of a resource as the apps and whatnot, what is it? What are you specifically saying? Just being able to reach out to them, or are you talking about the videos that are being posted, or what have you?
Well, the videos, the information, the you know, like Mike finding that place in Florida where there's no time limit. I mean, how else would any of us known that other than stumbling on it ourselves?
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying there. I personally really, that's one of my favorite things about the whole thing is the community. Like I'm doing it because I ran into the community. So from that standpoint, um, I'm not seeing the second gentleman that was going to be on. I'm out of questions over here on the moderator. So if anybody else would like to ask a question, please go ahead and do so. If he doesn't come on here in a moment, I think we should go ahead and close out. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, we can wrap up with some questions and just go from there. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Hey, so since we have you on here, guys, do you have any questions for Chris and I?
That was the one thing we didn't think of.
Yeah.
You guys are perfectly fine. I didn't know if that laugh was like a question you were nervous to ask or what. I was like, where's this going?
Well,
what's going on here?
I guess you have to imagine that we watch all of your videos, so we kind of, I feel like almost that we kind of know you a little bit.
Well, that's good.
So we know like your history of what you've done, and we watch the live feeds and everything. So a lot of questions that we've had have been answered, and that kind of goes back to the community thing as well. The fact that you are doing this and putting this together, we're getting a lot of questions answered that we've had that we don't even need to ask now because they're being answered for us.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're getting those answered. I mean, it is very interesting how the community's shaping up. I guess this kind of goes into what James and I were talking about for the Sunday after the Super Bowl. We're going to do the same live Q&A on how to start up your channel, like in terms of handling the different apps, maybe the different things to look out for. Because I mean, James and I talked briefly about this, but I think I've had more experience with it because I had my channel longer. But just like kind of watching out for certain things as well, and like just kind of where the whole community is going and everything. Because it's a very interesting time right now with the whole thing that's happening here on YouTube. Because it's definitely it's like a subculture to begin with, but now a lot of it's being put out there. Like there's been people doing this for like decades. Like from the first cars ever made, there was like campers, So
Right.
it's crazy right now. I feel like it's the first time in history that it's been I don't want to say socially acceptable, but it's first time in history that it's being publicized and it's being like brought to people absolutely everywhere. And I think a lot of people obviously are being turned on to it. Like people are starting to see the possibilities. So we're going to be talking about that next week, or week after. Sorry.
It's real lucky for us for the fact that because of all the YouTube channels and all the apps and the websites, we have so much more information now because of technology than they had 20 to 30 years ago. Granted, they may have had more boondocking places to go because of population, but the resources are astronomical.
Yeah, it's definitely a great time. Like I've told James in our very first live video that he got in at a very interesting time. Like everybody that's here right now, everybody creating the channels, it's a very interesting time because this is, I don't want to say that the heyday, but this is a great time to get started because there are a lot of people interested, and there's still, like, when people start the channels, they're getting in early enough where, like back when I started, there were no people really interested. Maybe I'd get like 60 or 70 views per video and I'd be ecstatic. Like there was just nobody that was interested, where now like there's just a lot of people interested and you can actually have some really cool interactions and be able to meet a lot of cool people out there now. Like Mike was just here the day before yesterday and hung out with him a couple days and getting to meet him and see his perspectives and what he's doing and see his van that he's traveling around in. And also Yarv, we met up with him at Chipotle and just seeing him, he's on the road now with his Mini Cooper and everything. So it's like, it's very interesting right now because with all this technology and all this connection that we have, we are able to see each other and motivate each other and expand what we're doing through this medium, which is pretty cool.
And meet up. Whereas before, without the social media and stuff, when y'all parted ways, and you wouldn't know when you were going to see each other again. Where now you can kind of keep in contact and meet up again.
Make plans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I do really like that part of it myself quite a bit. I have another question for you guys. When you guys do have a family, are you planning on homeschooling or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Life schooling.
yeah, life schooling, homeschooling. Yes. Again, that's like way in the future, but you know, we had talked about, because I have kind of would more of a steady stream of income, that Martin might stay home, so to speak, and do the schooling aspect. It's something that we've talked about.
So there's a question on here. It's more they would like you to spell out your YouTube name, guys.
CRUZINCASTLES. Cruzin Castles.
Are you seeing any questions on the live feed there, Chris?
Just kind of small things like directed towards me, like say construction in Alaska, little things. That's why I've been kind of going back in and out of the conversation. Sorry guys, just trying to answer these questions over here. But yeah, nothing really over here. Give them 1 second. If they do have any questions, I'll say it right now. But no, Happily Houseless is over here as well, helping answer some questions. So I think we got it all covered on this side.
All right, so we're all covered on this side, and so you guys want to give a plug, and is there anything that you guys would like to say? Talking to you.
Excited. Can't wait to see y'all out on the road. Facebook / Cruzin Castles, and then same thing, Cruzin Castles on the YouTube and Google Plus, and we're hurrying. We can't wait.
And I would like to say, I'm really excited, James, that you had this opportunity to get in there and do the apartment thing, and you're not going to have any rent. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you very much.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, like it looks like I'm gonna have some downtime too while I'm at work, so I can get some online stuff done while I'm working.
Good, man. All those small little steps, they add up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, Chris, you have anything you want to say before we head out? Call it a night?
Yeah. I'll just plug the website again. I actually had a question here. I hope I answered your question on there. Somebody asked about the website, if I'm going to expand it. Yes, whenever people actually send me videos to my website, that way I can actually... Am I getting a call or is somebody there getting a call?
No, I'm on call right now, actually.
Duty calls. But socialmedianomads.com, you can add your videos there. I've added about 15 videos to different categories there, different band tours and everything. And once again, that's socialmedianomads.com. And then not next Sunday, not Super Bowl Sunday, but the Sunday after, James and I'll be back on here. Still going to get a guest, probably get a guest that has no van dwelling experience. Well, maybe van dwelling experience, looking to get a YouTube channel started. That way they can actually, maybe if they have some specific questions about starting your own channel, we can answer those, and kind of some of our experiences starting a channel and some of the things to, like I said, look out for, and different things you might encounter starting your own camper van channel, and kind of how we grow our audience and how everything works on that end. So that'll be the Sunday after next, and by that time I may be back home in the new RV. I hope so. Fingers crossed. But
Awesome.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, guys. So I appreciated everybody that came on, all of you guys, and then also everybody that came on here to watch. There was a question directed on me about what my plan, and my personal plans on that is I would like to be able to head towards Alaska in late May, but there's a couple of things that are going to have to work out before I can do that. And
Wait, you're talking about this May?
yeah,
You guys are going to Alaska?
that's what I wanted to do first. That's a best case scenario, man. I didn't want to
That's awesome.
talk too much about it. My goal would be that in May to head out there and see if I can land some work in the summer and hang out with Chris a little bit.
Yeah, man, we can get something figured out. I mean, I don't have a job yet either, so it'll be interesting.
I was gonna try to take your advice and just show up and get a job. No,
Hey, man, that's a lot of pressure on me. I got to get myself a job and get you a job. It sounds like.
well, let's cross our fingers. There's a couple things that have to happen for me down here to make sure it works. But yeah, that's what I would like. If it takes out till September, then I'm just gonna go do some work camping up in the sugar beets and stuff. So, but
Hey, man, something else to look into before we get off the phone. I mean, granted, I'm going to mention this to everybody out there. I just recently learned about the Amazon work camping where they give you a place to camp and you work 10-hour shifts, $10 an hour, and you know, something to look into if you're trying to make this a reality and this is your epiphany moment. Google that right now.
And you guys got to watch out for that if that's something that you do want to know. If they start doing the hiring and taking the applications in February, and it's for the Christmas season through October and November and December. I plan on applying for it, but the sugar beets I can earn a little bit more. So, and it's in October, so it's prior to that. So I figured maybe I'd try to do both if I don't get up to Alaska this summer. But cross my fingers that can make that happen. And I think it would be cool to be able to do that. And so the last thing I was kind of thinking I'd do is everybody out there, please take the time to go over to the Cruzin Castles. That's Cruzin, and then space Castles, Castles. You can just do a quick search on it. I'll also link it below when we get off of here. And then, you know, if you guys already haven't, and this is the first time you ever tuned in and you ran into Chris, get over to Chris Travels and make sure you sub him as well. And I always appreciate subscribers as well. If you like what we're trying to do here, if you like some of my other videos, please subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys all later. Anybody have anything to add before I go offline? All right, guys.
I think we're good, man. Just keep fighting the good fight out there, guys. If you keep working for your goals, eventually, like I'm sure Castles here can tell you the same thing. It's small steps, it's small little things as you continue to go, but it's moving in the right direction will get you where you want to go.
It's a lot of work, but freedom's priceless.
Exactly.
That's right, man. Get out there and reduce world suck, guys. Peace.